Hi, this is Mr. Maginnis, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Gustav Klimt and the style of art that he produced and a way that I found to do it on the web with no app download necessary. First, let's talk about Klimt himself. He was an Austrian painter who was most active over 100 years ago. And this here is probably the most famous Klimt painting called The Kiss. Painted in 1912, I believe. And really, this piece, there's something about the Klimt style that's worth pointing out, and that Klimt usually had a style in which there were a series of intense areas of pattern and texture contrasted with areas devoid of pattern and texture. In this case, the man kissing the woman is in stark contrast to the heavy patterns on his shirt, her dress, his tunic, whatever, the ground beneath with the pattern of the flowers, and even the background with that texture throughout. Here's another example, same style, with the exception of this green area down here, but relatively flat skin areas of a figure contrasted with busy pattern in the background and on the garments that the figure is wearing. Yet another. And another. Always with the busy patterns contrasted with the relatively flat areas of the figures. So I'd been looking for a way to do some Klimt style engraving online, and finally I found a way to do it. There is no website for it as far as I can tell, but I did find, if you go to www.pixlr.com, it will take you to a web-based photo editor. Click on the first one, and let's just create a new image. And let's go for the Ultra HD. Create. Okay. So now we can, just as in the classroom, if we were to paint this background or cover this background with oil pastels, we can do the same with a paintbrush and selecting different colors. Now I'm going to increase the size of this brush to cover quicker, but you can definitely use a smaller brush and incorporate more colors and give it more intricacy. I'm just going to fill this in. And if you hadn't guessed yet, I'm going for my favorite color motif, and that is the Roy G. Biv. And because of the full RGB color palette, also known as the rainbow. Because of the full RGB color palette, I can actually put indigo in this. 7867. Now this could be done with any colors you wanted, except you want to stray away from dark ones. Anything bright is going to look really nice. So again, what we're doing is approximating the process by, in the classroom, what we would do is just get a white sheet of drawing paper and cover the whole surface with different colors of oil pastels. And when we do that, it's important to cover all of the white of the paper, because what we're doing here, or what we would be doing on paper, is preparing an oil base of the color pastels. Over top of which we would then paint ink. And in this case, we're just going to add another layer here in a second. No. Okay, so my paper is covered here. I'm just gonna touch up all these little black areas still showing. All right, we'll call that done. So we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to fill in that new layer completely black. Now all my color's still there, it's just been obscured. So what I would do with in-person students is I would have them make their own pattern background on a piece of white drawing paper. I'd have them divide up the space using a ruler, usually into different spaces, usually emanating from a central point in the middle. Let's see, do I have a line drawing, a pen? So what I'm doing is I'm using my eraser tool to basically approximate the effect of scratch art paper that you can make by hand. And scratch art is in itself an approximation of the process of engraving. And engraving is a very ancient art form. Most paper currencies in the world are made from an engraved metal plate that is printed repeatedly with ink. So the nice thing about this is very forgiving. I can switch to my brush with black and a bigger brush size, and I can erase. And then basically I go back to my eraser and I can pick the size on that too to draw a line of any thickness that I want. So as you erase more and more of this background, you're going to start to see all this beautiful color that you laid down originally. I can do something with just lines. You could do this with any type of line, curved, zigzag. Now, just for fun, I do see that there are different brush types in here. So let's try that out. Oh, wait, I gotta make that the eraser. Oh, that's cool. Let's bring that up. This isn't cheating to do it this way. But again, you just got to respect the boundary between the patterns. And if you're going to use a brush like that that has some decor to it, it would be nice to switch up the size. one over there. It'll let me undo the last line I made, which is good. Quicker than going back and trying to erase it to black. So it will allow you to undo one movement at a time. Actually, that's not true. The history function will let you undo multiple steps down in the history. So that's another valuable tool to have there for reworking like that one. Okay, now in the paper versions, I would have my students maybe pick out a magazine clipping or else bring in a photo, because we want that contrast, see, between the background with busy patterns and figure. So let's see if this will let me. Looks like I'm going to need to lasso that. So we're basically just selecting. This is Maginnis and my daughter. We're adding to the selection here. I zoomed in to get a better cut. If you skate along the bottom, very bottom edge of the file and off of it, like down here, it'll just draw a line along the very bottom. And I can remove from selection there, this little piece that I didn't want to get in. Okay. I think that's a decent cutout. Not perfect, but good enough. Copy that. And then paste. There. I think it looks best to put the cutout of the person in front of the vertex of all the selection or the pattern areas that you made. All right, so that's how to use Pixlr to do a Klimt style engraving with pattern and texture background contrasted with figures with relatively flat areas. Thanks for watching.